capitalization of the banks. Kolu has found it very hard to get investors, any real investors, except for few that were willing to borrow them money. Here you get. And somehow, this economy and the Mayfield's policies that is refined and copy and pasted by Kadobi, depletion of the foreign reserve to help defend the naira by selling dollar at undervalued rate, so you cut your cost. So it's like this. What you are witnessing there is that the Central Bank of Nigeria will buy dollars. For example, not buy, like get dollars at the original value of, let's say, 2,000 naira to $1. And if they allow the floating to continue, where people just have to say, this is how much I'm going to sell my dollar and all that, then it's going to end up hitting 5,000 naira to $1. To prevent that, not by improving exports to make more forex. No, that's not what they are doing. What they are now doing is to make sure that, listen, if we get all dollars in, we can buy them for as much as 2,000 naira as value. But giving out that dollar to some designated BDCs, we can control how much they sell the dollars. And since we can use propaganda to tell everybody that the central bank is selling the dollars for 1,200 to BDCs, the highest that the BDC will have to sell it is 1,230. Meanwhile, in a country of 200 million people, your central bank is pushing out $60 million a week to fill in those requests. So if you go make that demand from the BDCs, you can access that money from them. So they have to continue to make it available to control how much you get it. But outside there, you stand no chance. Because if you don't see it, you will end up having to pay more for those who are ready to sell there, Sabi? But the propaganda can continue to make it look like all over Nigeria right now, $1 is this or that, okay? Which is working for them. So you know what Cardi B is doing now? If investors are not coming to Nigeria because of Tinubu's track record, the criminal enterprise in that place, how about we do recapitalization from 25 billion naira for banks to 500 billion naira? Because it's going to be like using one stone to kill like 5 birds. Now you may target 5 birds that you want to kill, only end up getting just 2. To Kadobi and their permutation, even if 2 birds fall out of this or falls from this on their lap, it is still a win. Now let me explain that to you. Currently, the banks in Nigeria are being told to either go and look for investors to invest in your banks, international banks, and bring in at least the capital base of 500 billion. You can get more than that. You can rebase yours to 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion. It's up to you. You can merge with other banks and make that if you are international bank. So if you are just commercial bank, who is operating like nationally and then regionally. So they put their own around there. 250 billion, 100 billion, 50 billion, 10 billion, including non-profit, non-interest banks. But here is what using one stone to kill about 5 birds is that banks are very lucrative. Bank business in Nigeria is very lucrative. Okay, very, very lucrative. Even if the economy is tanking, people are losing their jobs, businesses are like dying, banks will still declare profits because the money they make from just deducting illegal deductions from people's accounts alone, they declare profit in tens of billions, hundreds of billions of naira. Also, mhm, which can be an easy investment attraction or attractor for real investors who wants to put their money in something that is really a little bit viable. And by so doing, they could attract up to $1 billion, $2 billion investment into the banking sector in Nigeria. And it could go as far as $10 billion. So that's some smart move. So when that money gets into Nigeria, central bank is going to be involved. Most of them are going to pass through the central bank. And this money, now they can use that to further shore up the base of their financial credibility and say, yeah, look at it, we have this. It doesn't mean that it's going to come in and have a direct impact on you yet, too. Because that idea, from what I heard, is such a very beautiful idea. But there's something you have to do. And that thing is that as you are pulling that off, right, you must also block all the loopholes, wastages in public spending, so that by the time the result of those investments are beginning to sort of yield, you are already doing your part to provide infrastructures to make them flourish, and then you make more money as a government. And as for your economy, right, there is more money inside there for businesses to actually really use. But the problem is that Nigeria doesn't actually plug any loopholes of wastages in public sector. No. So it's going to be a mixed one. I'm not going to pretend that what I heard about the idea, I did it. And also, I'm also not going to forget the fact that even if you have a perfect idea from somewhere, remember when it gets to Nigeria, it becomes illogical because Nigeria is illogical. So then secondly, the idea of that recapitalization, if this scope of artificial naira gaining strength against the dollar, because it is artificial. It is your central bank taking a shot at their own naira to make it appear strong when there's actually nothing backing it, other than somebody taking money somewhere and say, sell this money, sell these dollars at this rate. This is how much I want you to sell it. Not because the naira actually had anything that gave it the value, nothing. Sure, you get. So the second advantage of recapitalization is that, you see, people where they steal money, money launderers, when you are into drug or you are into any shady deals, stuff like that, back in the days, the best way to hide your blood money, illegal money, is to put it in a bank. No, not go and open a bank account. Dumbo, no. You will be the owner of the bank. Buy a license or buy a local bank. All right? Buy a local bank and move your money inside. So that will be your depositor's money. And then they create all the fake accounts around it for you, and they make it look like it's actually a functional bank. You see, those they said were stockpiling naira that prompted them to change naira, the currency in Nigeria. So the plus side is that they could probably bring more of those paper out now and just dump them in some of these banks, including some of the dollars they stole too. Some of them, they stole your naira and they use the naira to buy dollars from that your economy. So they can open banks and put the money inside those banks. And that puts more money in the control of the central bank too. So they've increased their interest rates in Nigeria right now because they said that is how to curb or control inflation. So they are doing that, and they say, oh, it's going to come down later the moment they have more money and liquidity in the system. More money, more liquidity is like more forex, which is liquid, available dollars that is ready to be transacted in large volume. Sure, you understand? And so they are banking on that. So that could be a good idea, this recapitalization. But there are other things too. They are as important as the one I mentioned. I do not want to put too much emphasis on them. I'm talking about what is going to play out where some of the banks are going to be taken over by Tinubu's men. It should be relevant, but it is as relevant as other things I just mentioned, okay? And that's why I chose to tell you the good one I hear, the good ones about it, the recapitalization of your banks. It simply means that your banks will be healthier and you will have a chance of, maybe ghost investors foreign investors who can see the opportunity in buying shares in some of those emerging banks or the banks that are going to merge together. This is a window to bring in money. You get that now? You can see banks, you can see investors from all over the world and say, oh, they are investing $200 million in Access Bank, or we are investing $100 million in First Bank. You're going to be hearing things like that now. And also, you see, for the thieves in Nigeria, they too now can give the money to some of those ghost investors that will just pop up from nowhere and say they are investing 200 million. They are buying banks here and there, only to find out later that they are actually fronting for your state governors. That you find out later. So there will be some aggressive takeover of some people's banks in Nigeria out of this, right? But for Kadobi, it is a window where more direct dollars can be brought into Nigeria and Nigerian Central Bank. And to them, they will probably have more to use a shorten at their naira and continue to make it look and appear like it's coming stronger when there is no real investment in the real sector. Last night, their national grid collapsed. Is there a country that is coming back from economic disorder? That's why you can't listen to people like that or Nippon Hub, or Nippon Hub of Poron Hub or Nerisha. Some people hate me for that. They think I'm actually happy or taking a dig at Ooni. No, I am embarrassed because when I was growing up, what I read about some prominent Yoruba Obas, to me, they were like gods. As a kid, I was seeing people like Nerisha. That is not just a man. If he was a man before he became Ooni or you became a Alaafin of Oyo, if you are a man, you are no longer a man. You are no longer human. You are now like pretty much like a god, like an ancestor. I grew up, I realized that. Mm. So that is that on Kadobi and his what do you call it, voodoo economy. So it's kind of good. It's like a good sweet sour of a thing. Because at the end of the day, it's all going to end up in one thing. When this old show, all this patch, all the cover up, when everywhere can't dry, you will see all of them come out and be like looking for who to blame again. And you see those ones who kind of stand up to say, yeah, it's a good idea. That's a very brilliant instance that every one of them will disappear. You won't see them anymore. Or do you still see those who are abusing you because of Bokwari in the last 80 years? Do you still see them? Those ones where you fought with on social media. At least some of you have one or two experiences with them, Abby. Uh-huh. Do you see them around now? When they now said that they have destroyed Nigeria beyond repair, where are those ones who they attack you on behalf of Bokwari? They've gone quiet. Some of them have changed names. Now they are now defending this to tell you that it's a good idea. It's a Kinikon. You will see how it's going to turn Kinikon around. They will disappear then too. So here is another one. Now, I told you this is just giving you the snippet into what we are likely going to talk about later tonight in the People's Parliament, because I am actually so really want to have the People's Parliament where, we can all come here and share our own, general views on everything, right? Apart from phone calls, physically, like. So here is another one. Remember that yesterday, the news was that the Nigeria. Oh, this one wants me to get up and stretch. I think I've sat for like an hour. So if I sit for like an hour, I am supposed to get up and stretch like that. For health. You get? I usually do that off camera, kind of, but it just asked me there to do it. I'm sorry if that seems weird. Okay. But I need it so that I don't go get stroke while I'm seated. He's such a young man. Baloshi stroke because Kounti did only joke for 3 hours. So they said it's not good. So I had to do it. Right? So yesterday, the Nigerian army published this image and they said these were the people wanted for killing the Nigerian soldiers. Okay. So Nigerian soldiers who we were told went there for peace, but these people said no, they didn't come for peace. These were bunkers. All right. So now the families of the slain soldiers, they will never really know the truth, since the Nigerian army, they've already been like, they've been running with more than 3 stories of how those soldiers died. So they declared those people wanted. And one of them, Sai Okilo, is the monarch, is a king. It was the one who was saying that he knows, he knew one of the killed soldiers as a very good man, the man who came to his coronation as a king. From that part. Now they have to put his name, his picture there. See, Ikolo, Clement Ikolo. That's number 7. That's a monarch. I saw the video of the man. These people wrote letter. Baba, I'm going to show you the letter this evening, okay? The people of Okwama, they wrote letter twice to report the activities of bunkering and all these activities of illegal stuff. And some of the people behind it, they wrote letters to the Nigerian police, Nigerian army, with no response from them. 2 letters this year alone. But they still went there to go and kill them, declare them wanted. So the guy came out and he was like, you know what? I'm going to go hand myself in. So he handed himself in to the police, and the police took him to the military, the army. Okay, but before he went, he had this to say. I couldn't believe it myself.
This morning, to the greatest of my surprise, I saw my name on the list of persons wanted in connection with this heinous crime. It is a shock to me because I have no hand in such things. I don't believe in anything that has got to do with truncating the life of human beings. I am not in any way, shape, or form connected to this. Let it be stated clearly here that I haven't been able, even as a monarch, I haven't been able to access the kingdom till date. I got my staff of office on the 16th of November, 2023. Now, prior to getting my staff of office, it's been turbulent. The government is sufficiently aware of my position. And I'm really, really very surprised and taken aback that my name as the monarch of the kingdom will appear in a list of wanted persons. I have no hands in killings. I have no hands in encouraging anybody to kill anybody. It is against my philosophy as a human being and my faith as a Catholic. It is against it. This is a serious crime against humanity. And I think they need to look at the appropriate places. They need to do a thorough investigation to know all those who have committed this and bring them to book. And bring them this morning, to the greatest of my surprise, I saw my name on the list of persons wanted in connection with this.
It is Nigeria, all right? The amount of injustice that is available in Nigeria is enough to go round. Now, so everybody go carry camera. When your own touch you, go carry camera. Please, my people, I need to explain. You will explain something. It is called injustice. It doesn't discriminate. I will keep reminding you. Of course, it is a greatest insult. And some believe that since the Nigerian military are totally above the law, so who are you going to report to and who are you going to complain to? Who is going to take care or call them to order? Nobody. here is one experience that, you know, this story, I haven't told you this story, okay, but you will be told the story soon. That's a royal father almost in tears. That how could this even be, right? Because the military have no regard for anybody or any rule. The bunch of criminals who are carrying out this criminality, oil bunkering and murder in that part of Niger Delta, they're doing the same to everybody who crosses their path. If you report it as well, you could even be like putting your life at risk. Your life will be at risk reporting them. A journalist was said to have reported something about them, very true. And then the next thing, they kidnapped him. They kidnapped him, locked him up somewhere, then they denied. Like they denied. I'm talking about, this is like, everybody knows that you are keeping this person. Just admit that you are keeping him and tell them why you are keeping him. You are keeping a journalist. And they wanted to kill him. The Nigerian army. You guys should know, at least.
Suleiman, I think it is a very sad story. Like you said, when he was arrested about 13 days ago, and after the wife, the publisher of the newspaper raised the alarm, and we made all efforts to get in touch with the federal government authority to confirm where the guy was taken to. We were in touch with the DSS office, the police, the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Minister of Information, and they said they've made their own contact and nobody had been able to confirm where the guy was being kept. So we keep on issuing statement appealing to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to order his release. And the more we press for that, the more they kept on telling us, no, we don't know where this guy was being kept. So after some days, we were in touch with the Nigeria Union of Journalists, the International Press Institute, and we told them that there's need for us to organize ourselves and see how we can make a collective effort to get to know where this guy is. But unfortunately, one of the group, International Press Institute, was able to track him to the Defense Intelligence Agency facility, and even when they tracked him to that facilities, and we called the defense chiefs and the guy in charge, and they denied. We even called we even got in touch with National Security Advisor. They also denied. We got in touch with Minister of Information. They denied. But the more they denied, the more our source from there kept telling us that there's need for us to move very fast to save the life of this guy. So last night we sent out invitation that we're going to have a world press conference today to alert the world about what is happening. It was at that point that they got in touch with the Minister of Information and confirmed that the guy was actually with them. That was last night. And the Minister of Information quickly asked them to release the guy, otherwise they will be in trouble. And they promised they were going to release this guy this morning. And there was an attempt to ask us to call off the press conference. And we said, no, we're not going to call off the press conference. Because if some military guys still believe that they are above the law or still find it very difficult to subject themselves to civil authority, then there's a problem. How can a DIA agent, for example, lie to the National Security Advisor, lie to the Minister of Information and other senior government officials about the whereabouts of Segun Olatunji? For us, that is our concern. And we believe that it's not something we can just gloss over. There's need for the president to take immediate action and investigate the matter.
Yeah, take immediate action. Take afterthought action. Now, everybody, I'm a journalist. You are still alive, Abby. It is a brutal place, right? And sadly, these people, where they carry out all of this oppression and all of this kidnappings on behalf of their supposed leaders. Compared to know even they talk to themselves. Recently, we saw where DSS and police they fight over who go sit here, who not supposed to sit here, and DSS won't come out gone. Yeah, we saw that one just recently. I don't know if you have seen it.
See, okay, we go change that for you. Come on from there. Come on from there. You are idiot. Come on from there.